What up, party people? All right, let's get rocking and rolling here. Let's make sure we're broadcasting. If you guys can hear me, if you guys can see me, please give me a thumbs up or a comment just so I know. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If this is your guys' first time here, welcome. If this is your guys' 100th time here, welcome. Always happy to have all y'all. So let me just get things rocking and rolling over here. Sweet. What up, Facebook? What up, LinkedIn? What up, YouTube? All right. Where are we at? Here's where we're at. Boom. Okay. I got lost there. Sorry, you guys. I had 100 tabs open. I'm just trying to figure out where we are. All right. I think I'm oriented. I got this. Let's get in here. All right. Let's get in here. I think we're in there already. Okey-dokes. Sweet. Okay. I'm starting to get this sorted out. All right. Boom. 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 Cool. We should be just about good to roll. If you guys are live, drop a live in the comments. If you guys are on the replay, drop a replay in the comments. I always like knowing who I got with me. All right, let's see where we're at. I always like knowing who I got with me. All right, I think we're good to go. All right, let's see where we're at. Oh, hold on, I got a double audio. All right, we're good to go. Let me just double check actually one more thing. Boom. Okay, sweet. Patricia is in the house. What up, Patricia? Good to see you. What up, James? Sweet. LinkedIn looks like it's popping. Party people are on LinkedIn. Who else is here? Let's see who else we got. I'm just going to scan the comments. If you're on Facebook, let me know in the comments. If you guys are over on YouTube as well, same goes. Let me know. We're going to be doing some sales today. We're going to do a little bit of prospecting together. So if this is your guys' first time here, let me give you a brief introduction. So basically what we do here is we'll run through a little bit of training. Normally I have some topics, some things that I want to break down, sales concepts, ideas, tactics, strategies, things that you guys can use to just put into your own sales process to get you guys closing more deals faster, collecting more cash, charging more money, bigger prices, bigger profits, that whole sort of game. So that's what we do. I'll go through a little bit of training usually, and then after the training, we'll do some live sales. As I'm doing live sales, usually I'll take a break in between things and break down concepts, explain what I'm doing. So that is how we roll. Let me just pull up some of my things over here. Who's excited? Are you guys feeling good today? I don't know why, I just had this feeling today that like when I woke up, today is gonna be an amazing day. And I've been feeling that sort of energy lately. It's And also we had a good thing pop up on the desk. Little opportunity popped up. Let's see. Sweet. Heck yeah, dude. Okay. Sweet. Oh, interesting. This is a really cool answer. So I'm sorry I got caught off guard, but this is a really cool answer. I sent an email today leading up to this call to our list, and I wanted to have some different opportunities to work. So a lot of times we're working on super high-end top of funnel calls, just because that's what a lot of you guys are doing on your day-to-day basis. So, you know, I know a lot of you guys are appointment setters, or a lot of you guys are business owners that are relying on cold calling, and you just got to pick up the phone, smile and dial, and be able to work a lead from nothing. So we do that a lot, and a lot of where we usually pick up on is like from positive reply on LinkedIn or a positive reply on email, something like that. But I wanted to do something a little bit different today and have a little bit of fun with you guys. So what I did was I sent an email to our list, and I was specifically sending this email because I wanted to get a certain segment of the list, right? Basically what I wanted to get were the fence sitters. And I wanted to be able to have conversations with the fence sitters today. Because how many of you guys have people in your pipeline that you know are just watching you, you know they're interested, but for whatever reason, they're not pulling the trigger, they're not moving forward, they're not taking action, and you are wondering, what in the world can I do to get this person over the edge? How many of you guys have someone like that in your pipeline? Put me in the comments. Let me see from y'all how many of you guys got someone like that. Also, I'm very insecure, just FYI, you guys, so I feed off of your energy. The more you guys give me, the more I can give you guys back. What up? I see someone's on Facebook. Hey, my man. Hey, my man. Let's see who's over there. I don't know where you're at. Where are you at? I don't see you in the group, but wherever you are, what's up? I'm happy to see you as well. But if you have someone like that in your pipeline, that's basically what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to talk to these types of people who have been sitting on the fence, right? And so I sent an email today, and the subject line was the infamous. Anyone got a guess? I'm sure you guys can guess it because it's the most classic subject line of all emails. But it was just simply a quick question, right? And then it said, have you been considering reaching out and getting our help to scale your sales? If yes, what's stopping you from reaching out? And then that's basically the email. And then I put from Mike, my curiosity's killing me, Mark, basically. So that's it. Have you been considering reaching out and getting our help to scale your sales? If yes, what's stopping you from reaching out? So I got a response back, and it's a pretty cool response actually. I'm not going to share the gentleman's name, but I'll give him a call, and I think it would be worthwhile just to give him a ring and see what's up. So he said, I haven't reached out because we don't need sales reps or setters right now. However, I know you're one of the smarter guys in the high ticket space who actually know what they're doing, from the ads to the offer to hiring to the funnels and back end stuff. And there's a hole in the market for that service help, because everyone's just selling setters and sales reps. Too much supply, not enough demand from my point of view. Interesting. That's a pretty interesting thing. I didn't think about that actually. It's interesting because I have two clients right now that are going through some of our stuff, and we had some pretty epic client wins this past month, by the way. I'm going to brag a little bit, so excuse me, guys, but I'm really bragging on my clients because I'm stoked for them. So we had one of our clients, Wes. He went from, when he started with us, he was about 60 grand a month in July, and he actually just crossed his first 6-figure month last month. So that's pretty epic. His team's rocking and rolling. Kudos to everyone that's on that team. A lot of you guys are here, and a lot of y'all know who you are. So kudos to all you guys. It's awesome to watch you guys locking in as well. And that's been a really fun project, both for the sales reps that are on there, Yasser, shout out to you. Tom, shout out to you. You guys have done a really, really good job. So I appreciate y'all. You guys going through the boot camp, getting put onto this opportunity, coming in, knocking it out of the park. Like, big shout out to all y'all. And so if you guys just work the process, that's a perfect example of what working the process looks like on both ends. You got Yasser and Tom, who basically started coming into the space online through the boot camp. They both got opportunities. They both got to a situation where they're rocking it. And then on the flip side, then you got Wes, who's going through Scale Your Sales. He's got his sales reps, they're closing deals, and he's able to, he actually was joking, he got a deal while he was on the toilet. He said he was pooping when he got his first piff, and that was the greatest thing. So big brag there. Another brag. So we have another client, Evan, who just said that he was able to go on vacation and get 2 deals closed that week while he was on vacation. Pretty sweet, epic story there. He said it was exactly what he had been dreaming of when he first started his business, was to feel like the business was able to get sales and everything was able to work without him. And he was able to accomplish that through working together. So that's a pretty epic win there too. So a few little client brags that I wanted to get out. But I'm really excited for them because it's just the beginning on both sides. Like, for you guys who are on Wes's offer and the sales reps, like, that's a huge account. You guys can make so much money on that account. I told Wes when he started with us, like, dude, you got $1 million a month offer. And so for where he's at, to be able to, and he just hit his first multi-6-figure month. So it can go really, really fast, you guys. When you guys really lock in your message, you lock in the market, you lock in the ads, you lock in, and that's what's interesting about that email. And I guess that's what got me off track a little bit here. But in that reply, it's interesting because, and here's what I'm doing, right? Like, I'm listening to the market. I'm asking the market what the market thinks. And this guy is a perfect buyer in the market. He's someone who really, he is actively participating in the market, both as a buyer and a seller. And so he has very astute levels of awareness, this prospect who's responding to me. So his insight's really fascinating. And what he's offering me are some little gems to be able to help us position better. And so this is what I want you guys to be paying attention to as you're selling, because a big part of your ability to sell is going to come down to your positioning. How are you positioning your solution? When you guys are positioned well, everything's easy. When you guys are positioned poorly, everything's difficult. It's the difference between, you're fighting a battle uphill or you're fighting a battle downhill. Or you're going with headwinds or you're going with tailwinds, right? So the positioning that you guys take is going to massively influence your ability to sell. And there's times where you'll have really good positioning and that positioning will go away. So, we've had, at this point, I've now had $5 million plus offers that I've been able to build personally that were businesses of my own. And in building these $5 million plus offers, there's a feeling you get when you're selling them. And it's just, you can tell when you're on, it's really weird, the feeling. It's, how do you describe it? Just everything flows. Right? And when you don't have it, everything feels like you're forcing it. It's the difference between feeling like you're convincing people and trying to take something from them, and the difference between that and then feeling like you're able to give people something, right? Like that you guys have something that genuinely is so easy that it's a no-brainer that you're giving them something. And a lot of that has to do less with the offer. Sometimes it is the offer, but sometimes it's not the offer. Sometimes it has to do with the market itself. Because let's say, for example, you're making a really, really fair offer at a good price. The way that it's positioned, let's say, for example, a random person is selling a Rolex on Facebook Marketplace. Some people will do that. Some people won't do that. Some people will buy a Rolex off of Facebook Marketplace. Like I would buy a Rolex off of Facebook Marketplace, but it's because I know how to buy a Rolex, right? Some people won't buy a Rolex off of Facebook Marketplace because it's positioned as sketchy, it's positioned as dangerous, it's positioned in a certain type of way. And so that's why a lot of people will pay a lot more money to go to Mayors to buy a Rolex. Even if it's a pre-owned Rolex, they'll go to Mayors to buy the pre-owned Rolex because it gives them the peace of mind knowing that they bought a real Rolex. And it's the same product. It's really the same offer. It could be even almost the same offer. I guess theoretically it's a different offer, but it's genuinely the same product at the same price. But it's more desirable in one position and easier sell in one position, and a more difficult and demanding sale in another position. And obviously you guys know my philosophy on things. Like I believe y'all should sell hard stuff to sell, and I believe y'all should sell easy stuff to sell. So a really funny example, in fact, was so we're in Orlando right now, and I was helping out my parents. We're helping them clean out their house and the garage and stuff, and they're trying to just like get rid of all this old stuff that they have. And so they had a community garage sale, and with that community garage sale, we ended up I was having fun. You know, we were selling things and hustling and closing deals and getting the cash and bartering and negotiating and all that sort of stuff. And so it was really funny. There was one guy that he came when he had a son, and his son, you know, was a teenager. He was a real tall, lanky kid. And they were looking at some things, and my parents were selling a rower, you know, like a something where you row for exercise. And the guy walks by the rower, and he kind of looks at it, and I could tell he's kind of interested. And I was like, "Hey, check out that roller." I'm like, "Yeah, thing. How you like that?" He's like, "Yeah, it's pretty nice." I was like, "Yeah, you know, crew is one of the fastest ways to get into an Ivy League and get a scholarship there." And he's like, "Really? I didn't know that." I was like, "Yeah, I have a friend who actually went to Harvard with a crew scholarship." So I was like, "You know, you get that thing for your son. Next thing you know, he's a doctor with a Harvard degree." And he just like, he was like, I could see him getting hot and bothered. And he's like, "Oh yeah." And he was actually like creating real genuine desire. And he looked at me, he kind of pops out of his trance for a moment. And he looks at me and smiles. He goes, "That's a good way to sell it." And so effectively what I was trying to do was I was positioning him as the identity of someone who's the father of a Harvard graduate by buying this rowing machine, right? At a garage sale. You know, it's just positioning, and how we position our offer is what it comes down to. And when you're positioned well, the sale is so much easier. And when you're positioned poorly, the sale is so much harder. And your positioning is not existing in a vacuum. You know, a lot of people will talk about offers only, but offers are without consideration of what's happening in the broader marketplace. That's where offers fall flat on their face, right? So if everybody's making the same offer, is it a good offer? Right? If everybody's making the same offer, is it a good offer? I really want to drive that point home, because if everybody's making the same offer, now we got a problem, right? And so I need to figure out ways to position, and specifically to position myself as different, and to position myself in a way where, you know, I can make people feel like I want to give this guy my money, right? Because here's what you guys don't realize is there are people out there that want to give you money. They're actively looking for someone who does exactly what you do. They're actively looking for you even. There's a lot of people who are just sitting on the fence that want to give you money right now. Like, they actively want to give you money right now. I woke up to a message this morning, that's what I was referencing earlier, of someone who actively wants to give us money, right? Wants to give us a good amount of money. And That's awesome. There are people out there that genuinely want to give you money. And so what we're wanting to do through this process is we're wanting to have a consistent conversation with the market to understand as things are moving, as the competitors are moving, how do people perceive us? And through that perception, how do we adapt to that? And this exists in all levels of business. This isn't just here inside of selling, right? This is the same thing the big CEOs are doing at mega companies. So let's give you a couple examples of exactly what I'm talking about. Here's something that's pretty wild, right? Instagram launches as an application to post pictures. Primarily Instagram. There's a really interesting interview with the head of Instagram recently that came out, and I'd recommend you guys watch it if you get a chance. But in it, he was talking about how Instagram initially came out as a photo application that's centered around the feed, right? So the feed is where people spent the majority of their time on Instagram in the beginning. Well, the way people are using Instagram is completely different today than it used to be. So the number one place that people spend time on Instagram is actually in the DMs. The number two place that people spend time on Instagram is in the stories. And then the number three place is in the reels, right? And now it's shifted to where reels are actually where people are spending a lot of the time. And what it's doing is people are going from reels, they're forwarding a reel to a friend, and then they're having a conversation just about other stuff, not necessarily about the reel. Sometimes it's about the reel, sometimes it's about other stuff, but that's generally the process, right? So people are sharing this content and then they're getting into conversation, but they're spending the majority of their time on the application inside of the DMs and in the stories. Right. And so they were saying how shifting the video has dramatically impacted them. But this is a company that was super aware of what their competitors were doing, of what the marketplace was doing, and how they had to reposition their product and reposition what they were doing. So they went from being a place where you primarily post photos to now they're a Reels company. Right? And they're through the reels and DMing and stories, that's where they're really driving growth in this thing. And another really fascinating example of this. So they were renovating the Starbucks by where we lived, and I was talking with the manager from the Starbucks, and he was like, yeah, the Starbucks was built like 20 years ago or whatever, like 10 years ago, I think he said. And he's like, it's just so out of date. And I was like, how's that out of date over 10 years or whatever? And I totally forget the time frame, but it was like 10 to 20 years. It was a very short window of time. And in fact, I do believe it was closer to 10 years. But he was like, yeah, well, the problem is, back when Starbucks was at that point in time, hot drinks comprised the majority of our revenue. He said, now cold drinks are double or triple what we do with hot drinks. So Starbucks went from selling coffee to then realizing they added food and bakery items, and then they really got into the food business. And then they added cold drinks, and they really got into iced coffees and cold drinks. And then their cold drinks are what exploding the company. And so they realized now they're a drink company. They're not a coffee company, right? They're making cold beverages primarily, and they're a beverage company or a food and beverage company. But they've completely repositioned what they're doing now to where, look at the majority of the drinks that are coming out of your Starbucks. And now Starbucks is even going further in their repositioning of the brand, which is really remarkable. And so if you guys check this out, the Starbucks CEO was mentioning their new plan. So Starbucks' initial whole strategy was to be positioned as the third place, right? So you have your home, you have work, and then you have the third place. And this idea was borrowed from what they saw how people use cafes in Europe. Because you have your home, right? And then you have your work, and then they have a pub or a cafe, and that's the third place. And so Starbucks' whole positioning was, we want to be a place where people will spend a lot of time. We want to be a place that people will sit down and work. That's why they give you free refills. That's why they do a number of the things that they do, right? And so as a result of COVID, they realized that consumer preferences started changing, and now they're looking to position themselves as basically a grab and go beverage place, and at least for a number of locations, and they're starting to want to take that part of the mind share as well. So they may actually try and straddle strategies. I don't know what they're going to do 100%, but their goal is they're building a lot more grab and go Starbucks stores, which is completely different than the third space positioning. So Starbucks here has gone from a hot drink place where you sit down for a long period of time to now they're repositioning the entire company to something that's a cold drink grab and go. That's way crazier than some of you guys may realize. Like that, to make that decision and to consciously execute it at the scale they're making that decision and constantly executing it, that is wild, right? That is wild. So we need to be aware and do the same thing. And consumer preferences are changing as well. What the competition is doing is changing. So another really interesting example goes back to Instagram and their Facebook and their battle with everybody else. But as Snapchat emerged, Snapchat really introduced the story concept into social media. Now users spend more time in stories. There's a reason why when you guys open up the Facebook app on your phone or on your computer, the first thing you're gonna see is the stories, right? It's because they know that people spend the time in the stories. They want you to be in the stories. So this is another way that this content type completely changed the way that the company did business. So y'all as sales reps need to be aware of the changing consumer preferences, of the changing competitive landscape. And so this is why it's so important to be in dialogue with the market and be aware of how can I best position my solution, because the positioning of your offer will completely change the way that people react. And there are people out there that want to give you money. There are people out there right now that want to give you a lot of money, right? Just like for me, same thing for me. There's people out there right now that want to give me a lot of money, and the same is true for you. We just have to make it so people can find us, right? And a lot of y'all, it's hard for people to find you. You're not out there enough. You're not having enough conversations. You're not clear enough about your message because you're all over the place with what you're actually able to do to help transform people's lives. But when you guys get crystal clear on what you can do to transform people's lives, how to communicate it, what the market's viewing, right? And we're really in this loop where we're having a dialogue, this is where we can find some interesting stuff. So, I just accidentally almost deleted an email. I don't want to do that. Okay, sweet. So that is the training for today. I would love to know you guys. So I'm big on you guys making sure that you have notes, you have actionable takeaways. So write in the chat right now, what is your biggest takeaway? And then how can you implement that into your next sales process? Or how are you going to put that into action? That's what I want to know. So what's your biggest takeaway and how are you going to put that into action? So write that out in the chat real fast. I'm going to pull some things up on my end, so bear with me here for a second. We're going to get rocking and rolling and actually start to get into sales calls. Sweet. You guys are awesome, man. You guys are super firing me up right now. So Heather, Christopher, Irshad, thank y'all. I'm super feeling that. I'm happy you guys are having a good time. Let me pull up my stuff in the CRM. We're gonna start reaching out to people, but damn, feeling good, man. Remember that people want to give you money. Oh, actually, I realized I forgot my charger. Let me grab my charger. This thing's gonna die if I don't have it. Okay, sweet. But yeah, you guys, there's a certain feeling, right? And the feeling is that you're coming from a place of giving or you're coming from a place of taking. When y'all have reluctance or resistance or anything, it's because you feel like you're coming from a place of taking more often than not. And when you're feeling like you're coming from a place of taking, a lot of that has to do with your positioning. So either the customer demands, you're trying to force something on someone who doesn't want it, which is a very difficult thing to do. It feels horrible. Or you're trying to give someone something that they don't necessarily value as much as you believe it's worth. And when you are in situations like that, it feels like you're taking, and it really sucks, and it's very difficult, and it's so annoying, and you just want to just freak out. Like, you want to freak out because it's like you're putting in so much effort and energy to end up having to fight with people and get no results. And it's just mind blowing how like annoying it is when you guys are trying to cram something down people's throat that they don't want. So the real goal is to figure out, how do we position this offer, right? And even you guys, you got to understand, when I say position, there's positioning exists on multiple levels. So you can position your offers, you can position the company, you can position the brands. So, but we can position an offer, especially as a solution to a specific thing, right? So whenever I talk about, some of y'all are selling biz ops, and biz ops are a very common thing that a lot of y'all are selling. So when we're selling a biz op, we're not actually selling that biz op. We're selling something else, right? We're selling a ticket out of a situation that they're in right now, or we're selling a ticket to a dream destination. And a lot of times it's kind of a combination, right? We're selling them a ticket that takes them out of the shitty place to their dream destination. And that's really it. And so we're not trying to sell the program or the job opportunity or whatever the thing is that we're selling. We're looking to sell for that person. How does it solve a specific problem? So if I'm talking to a truck driver who's having back problems and they're sick and tired of being on the damn road all day, back hurting, eating bad food, getting fat, not seeing their family, and they're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and they need to make a goddamn change. And they want to be able to spend time with their family. They want to be able to stop eating so bad, and they want to be able to eat at home, and then be able to have a job that doesn't make them, be on the road 14 hours a day. Okay? Done. That's what we're selling. We're not selling an education program about whatever opportunity that we're selling. We're selling a way out of that horrible thing, right? And so that's how y'all are looking to position your offers. So you guys can position the offer specifically, and then there's a meta positioning that's occurring inside of the marketplace. Okay, sweet. Ah, damn it. All right, I'm gonna call this guy. Let's see what happens. I think it was a thoughtful note, so I want to see what he said. Sweet. Okay.
The Google subscriber you have called is not available. The Google subscriber.
Dang. Okay. So I'll have to just reply to this email. I wanted to talk to this guy. So now I'm just thinking about how to respond to this email, given that just so you guys know. All right. And this is actually a little sales tip for y'all. So I'm going to give you some game. If you guys are ready for it, pay close attention, right? This game can change your life, right? And you need a pen and a paper. If you guys put a pen in the chat, a little pen emoji. I want to make sure that you guys got a pen and paper. All right? Because I'm about to drop some gems on y'all. All right? Y'all ready? Who's ready for this? Who's ready for this? Let me see. I told you guys already I'm insecure. I need your energy. I need your energy. All right. Okay, there we go. There we go. I see Gus. David's ready. What up, David? Good to see you, bro. I'm insecure, you guys. All right. You guys got to remind me what we were talking about because I forgot actually, but it was a good one. Can't find a pen emoji. What up, Amin? Good to see you, bro. All right. I remembered. I lost it for a second. I was getting so excited there. All right. I see y'all got your pen and paper. All right. So here's what we got. Y'all, whenever you get a hot lead that reaches back out to y'all, right? So this is a good example. This guy messaged me back. You know, I said, hey, I haven't reached out because we don't need sales reps right now. But you're one of the smarter guys in the high ticket space who actually know what they're doing, from the ads to the offer to the hiring to the funnels and back end stuff. And there's a hole in the market for that type of service or help because everyone's just selling setters and sales reps. Too much supply, not enough demand from my point of view, right? Really great email. Lot of intent. There's clearly some buying intent there. This person wants to give me money is what he's signaling, right? Rightfully so. I fucking earned it, right? We've done $500 million in client sales and placed 3,500 sales reps and built huge sales teams, right? 60th fastest growing company in the United States. Helped place 7 out of 8 of the sales reps and coach the entire team. So yeah, damn right, yeah. You know what I mean? So people out there want to give you money. You got to remember that. That's the key thing, right? Like you got to remember that people want to give you money, and then now we're listening to the positioning. So when he's signaling through his language like, hey, I want to give you money at some point, right? He's not signaling like, hey, I want to give you money right now, but he is signaling, hey, I want to give you money at some point, right? Which is cool. Like, great, I will take the money. You know what I mean? And he'll end up 5 to 10 times better than he is right now as a result of it, right? And that's the beauty when you guys are selling something you believe in that much. You know, like in the case of Wes, you know, who I shouted out at the beginning of this call, it's like gives me basically 15 grand or just short of 15 grand and walks away with his first 6-figure month and basically doubles his business inside of a month. Like, yeah, that's pretty epic, right? So that's a fair exchange. How many of y'all would do that, right? How many of y'all would do that exchange? It's a pretty fair exchange in my opinion. And doing it without necessarily having to commit all the time to it too, right? So, or for some of these other sales reps who, you know, go through our process and now they're in opportunities where they're able to make 8, 10, 12, 15 grand a month from their own house. Like not having to go through whatever commute or not having to deal with whatever shitty manager that they had before. Like, yeah, all day people want to do that, right? So you got to remember people want to give you money, but when someone's signaling that they want to give you money, pick up the phone and fucking call them. Just pick the fucking phone up and call them, right? Do yourself a favor, pick the phone up and call them. Some of y'all would dance around and try and send an email back and blah, 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 blah. Like, pick the phone up and call them. It's the fastest way to get to where you guys are going. You know where fundraisers do fundraising? Primarily on the fucking phone. They pick the phone up and they call the people, right? So pick the phone up and call them. That's what you guys want to do. Whenever someone's signaling that they want to give you money, pick the phone up and call them and give them the preference of phone calls. It will dramatically impact how you guys are doing things, right? So Amin said, he said, I don't need setters if I listen carefully. How is he looking to give you money, right? So here's what signals he's looking to give me money. There's a hole in the market because everyone's doing this doing a lot of something similar, but I can tell you're you're one of the smarter guys who actually knows what they're doing. Right? And he said, we don't need this right now. He said right now, which is signaling that, but eventually he will, right? So he's not saying, if they don't want to give you money, they say, I'm not interested. That's how you know someone doesn't want to give you money. They go, I'm not interested. Not interested. No, I'm not interested. Right? And that's, whenever someone says I'm not interested, that's when I generally know I got nothing there. So that was my gem for you guys. Whenever someone signals that they want to give you money, pick the phone up and call them. That's the thing that will make you guys a lot more money. Too many of y'all, your prospects are sending back like an objection or maybe a buying question, and you're responding via text or whatever. But the more you can pick the phone up and get them on the phone, the better you guys will find you're in position to be able to pull deals and make sales off of that. So pick the phone up and call your prospects. That's what I got for you guys. So I got another lead here. Let's see what's going on here. All right, we're going to call someone else. And part of why I'm giving you all that advice too is because I recently did not do that, and it ended up costing me, and I realized I was just being dumb. So, so what I was doing was people would send objections or questions and stuff, and I was responding too much in text and email, and I realized I was slowing down my pipeline, and I was costing myself a lot of deals. So part of why I'm being as firm on that is because it's a reminder to myself as well. A lot of times you guys will forget to do things that you are always doing. And that was one of those things, like I forgot to say, hey, when someone signals intent like that, just pick the phone up and call them. Instead, I was like, I'm too busy. I'm just going to text message them back. And then I was like, where the fuck, why are all my deals dropping off? And it was like, oh, okay, this is why. Because I'm just not picking up the phone and calling the people that are signaling intent. And so when you guys are, this is the beauty of like, use your email list, but a lot of y'all are on teams where you guys have email lists, or y'all are business owners where you have email lists, and y'all got fucking banging email lists. Like some of you guys got really, really good email lists. You got 10, 20, 30,000 people on email lists. You're sending an email or you're sending 3 emails a week, 5, 10, 7 emails a week. Like some of y'all have awesome emails, right? So, but your sales team's not fucking interacting, or you guys as sales reps are not interacting with the team on the broadcast emails. So you don't know what time these emails are going out. You're not there when they are positive responding. Dude, if y'all have a scheduled cadence, okay, emails go out at these times on these days, and we kind of stand aside, or someone stands aside to be able to scoop up the leads each day, y'all can pull a lot more deals out of your list. Like the big thing is, y'all got to combine a lot of these 2 steps and this, the Facebook group marketing, the email list marketing, the live events, that sort of stuff. Combine that stuff with the outbounding while you are there if you really want to get an extra edge out of your systems. Because some of you guys, they're sending the emails, and if they book the call, sweet. If they don't book the call, whatever. Right. And I understand that in a situation where you have really, really, really cheap leads and a lot of leads, and you just got to fucking filter through them. But for some of you guys, like, especially some of you guys that are complaining about, quality of leads or how many leads or whatever, like, dude, some of your best leads are the ones that are responding to your emails like that. So anytime you're sending 9-word emails, like, are you still interested in blah, blah, blah? And people are saying, yes, I'm still interested. Like, pick the fucking phone up and call that person. Call that person as fast as humanly possible. That's probably a good lead. So, that was my rant. I hope you guys enjoyed that rant. Let's see what else we got. So this next lead didn't have a phone number, so I'm just going to email her as well. She just said, I don't have any money. So I asked her, what's stopping you from booking a time, or what's stopping you from reaching out? She said, I don't have money. So, it's probably not the best lead to talk to, but I would be interested. A lot of times people believe that they don't have money, but it's just because they don't understand what's available to them or what they actually do have. So we just have to help them connect those dots. Now, before we wrap up, I wanted to make a couple quick plugs, you guys. So if you guys are a sales rep and you're looking to get on an opportunity, so drop a scale in the chat and then we'll reach out to you as well. If you're a business owner and you guys are wanting to hire appointment setters or hire closers and you're looking to scale up your company, you're looking to have a system that brings in high ticket sales for you every single day, then as well drop a scale in the chat. That way myself or someone from my team can reach out to you. We're happy to have a quick chat about what you got going on. And we're selling to salespeople. Like, all of our clients are business owners and sales reps. We don't need to play a lot of funny games. We don't need to do a lot of the kind of trickery. Besides, salespeople love to buy, business owners love to buy. That's how we are anyway. But I just want to put that out there. We're not gonna force you to buy anything. We're not gonna hard close you. What we tend to find is that with our market, it's your guys' decision at the end of the day. You guys own it. We have better outcomes and we're happier all together. So, but if you guys are looking for support, whether you're a sales rep and you're looking to get a new opportunity or just level up your game, or you're a business owner and you're looking to hire a new rep or just level up what you're doing right now, drop that scale in the chat. I appreciate all y'all rocking out with me today so far. We've had a really good session. This is actually one of my favorite sessions I've had so far this year. This has been a lot of fun. And I appreciate everyone, especially those you guys who are bringing the energy. A lot of you guys are really bringing the energy. Patricia, James, some of you guys, Gus, Amin, Solomon. Man, I really appreciate y'all. You guys showing up. Heather, you guys showing up, really playing full out. This is how you guys are gonna get the most out of it as well. So it's a lot more fun. So far, I want you guys to type whatever your biggest takeaway is and how you can implement that. So big takeaway, what's the way you're going to implement that from here moving forward? Partly, I encourage y'all to do this just as a way for you to keep record as well. You can go back to the comments here. You'll be able to find what you wanted to remember. And especially for those of you guys who are regulars, we have people here who are every weekers like Gus, Yasser. A lot of y'all are here every single week. It's pretty cool to be able to go back and see your progression over time if you guys tune in on a regular basis and you start to go back to those comments. So drop whatever your big takeaway has been today in the comments and how you want to implement that. Again, put a scale in the comments if you want us to reach out to talk about how to level up your game. Solomon, you can do it on YouTube. Tweet. Someone said I needed that rant. I'm happy that hit you right there. Good. All right, sweet. So I'm gonna hit some more dials before we wrap up, you guys. I'm gonna probably hit a couple of leads, and we'll see if we can get a conversation going here. I'd like to get someone live, and then let's see where these peeps are at. I'm gonna go here. Let me see this guy. Ooh, I got some good stuff in here actually. My leg's going to sleep though. That's the only. Oh, I hate. It's feeling so weird. Oops. There we go. Okay. Oh, actually, I just found a good lead. I forgot about this guy. I'm gonna plug him back in. Okay, sweet. So I just sent a message just so you guys know. I always like to talk about what I did as I'm doing it, so you guys understand what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So I just sent a quick text message to a hot prospect. He's someone that I talked to about 2 weeks ago, and he had some things that he needed to get in order first. So his funnel's performing. It's just started to perform. I told him you need a little bit more time of this funnel performing for us to feel comfortable. So I just basically checked in to see how the performance has been since we spoke last. Nothing too crazy, but basically this is for those of you guys who are like deeper into what we talk about. You know, this was a logistical concern. We had a good conversation, made offer, good fit, timing was the issue. So we're just handling logistics. So that is that. So we'll see how that goes. Good. Let me, sure. Sweet. Send a little message to one of my upcoming calls. Interesting. Let's see if I can get this. I don't know if I can do this. I have to boogie in 5 minutes. I have a hard stop, but I think I can get through this. I just got a lead from Ireland. That seems like a good one. I don't know if I can dial Ireland. I can.
Hello?
Danny.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, how are you? It's Mike.
I'm good. Who's this?
Mike, you just submitted an application about hiring a B2B sales team.
Oh, that was quick. Hi, how are you keeping? Are you well? You're in Miami.
Yeah, we're in Florida. Yeah, I'm in Orlando right now, actually, but we're down in Fort Lauderdale. Are you in Ireland?
Great. Yeah, Dublin.
Dublin. My dad actually had a factory out in Dungarvan.
Oh, very good. Excellent.
Yeah. You're one of the few Irish people I can actually understand, though, which is interesting.
Excellent. That helps.
Yeah, right.
My family's from all over the place, so maybe that's why.
Oh, that explains it. Okay, cool. So, hey, I wanted to ask you just a few quick questions, and we could see in about getting you booked for a call sometime this week.
Sure.
Just a few quick questions. So, with what you guys are selling, the price points we tend to perform best in are going to be between the range of about $5,000 and $50,000 as an average contract value or average order value. Is your product or service priced in that range?
Yeah, really, our starting point, the very, very lowest starting point would be 4,000, going all the way up.
Okay, that's perfect.
Our entry level would be 4,000 with euros, say $5,000. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and that's if it's euros even, that's better. That's perfect. Okay, cool. And then so typically when people come to us, there's one of four things that they got going on. So normally what I hear is I need a system that gets consistent leads and sales. That's the first one. The second one is I have too many leads right now and I need an appointment setter to help nurture and qualify them. Then the third one is I have too many sales calls. I'm booked out for the next 2 weeks and I need a sales rep to help me close more deals so I can scale my ad spend or whatever. And then the fourth one is I just need sales reps on tap. Like I got a working sales process. I need reps ready to roll. And does one of those four speak to your current situation?
we're actually probably not really. Where we're at is that we've basically created our product. We've created all our environments. We've got our website. We have our team in place. Everything is ready to go, and we're just now ready to launch. Okay? Now, I have 25 years B2C experience. That's my expertise, is owning chains of fashion stores. Okay?
Okay.
I've been in B2B twice, and they were both disastrous because we got no conversions in both businesses I invested in. So I'm not prepared to launch the product until I have the right B2B infrastructure behind me.
I see. Okay. So effectively, you have a knowledge gap, and you're looking to close that knowledge gap.
Yeah, ideally, I'd love somebody with B2B expertise to come in and take over the sales aspect of the business in exchange for commission and possibly equity in the company.
Okay, makes sense. So you guys basically don't have a sales process or really anything at all. You're just starting from scratch, and you're looking for advisory on the initial strategy first, and then help on the implementation from there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That makes sense. And then last question is, so typically the initial investment to work together is at the high end for our first time clients is going to be about 48 grand. On the low end is about 4 grand as an initial outlay. Is that something that you'd be comfortable with, assuming that everything makes sense and it's a good fit?
Okay, well, where I'm at, if we can get 3 months of revenue of 5,000 a month, we can get 100,000 euros in government grants.
Okay.
So all we need to do is just basically prove that I work here with because I'm also a management consultant, so I work with the government body, and they just want a proof of concept, which is 3 months in a row achieving 5,000 euros a month in sales, and then you can access 100,000 in grants.
Okay.
So what I'd say is we need to get to that 3 months, and then you can actually backload the fees.
Okay, that would be a deal breaker for us.
Okay, you want everything up front.
Absolutely.
Okay. Can you send me some kind of a quotation as to what it would cost, and I'll look at it?
Yeah, I just told you between 48 on the high end, 4 on the low end, depending on what we line up and what you need. So that's usually the initial outlay.
And you don't do a commission-only sales?
The sales reps work on commission only, but we're not talking about commission-only sales. You don't have a working sales system. We're talking about sales advisory and consulting.
Okay, so what if to set that up prior, you need to have that set up in place before you bring the salespeople in, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. If you look at it like this, right? Sales reps are leverage, right? So if you apply leverage to something that's not profitable, all you're going to do is lose more money.
Okay.
Right? So we need to have a system that actually functions before you scale a system, right? If you have a system that's not functioning and you scale it, that's basically cancer.
Yes.
So there's a lot of infrastructure and strategy and testing and message development and things that need to happen before you can just put commission only sales reps. So that's what I was referring to, and to have us come in and help you with that, absolutely there's a fee associated with that.
Okay. Yeah. No, I wasn't aware of that. That's been quite honest. I'm coming from it from a huge knowledge gap in B2B. As I said, B2C has been what I've done for 25 years.
Yep, and I totally get that. And B2B is what we do all day long. We've done $500 million in client sales. 60th fastest growing company in the United States last year was a client of ours, where 7 out of 8 of the sales reps came from us. We helped coach the entire sales team. So this is what we do. If you want to continue the conversation, I got to run. I have a 1 o'clock I'm late for, but you can send me a text message on the message that we've messaged you. If you want to send a text message there, and if you want to continue the conversation, feel free to hit me up. I would love to help you. It sounds like you got something that's pretty cool. And we definitely have the knowledge. So assuming you can get to a point where you can figure out how to get budget for it, then it would make sense to continue a conversation.
Listen, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. I'll be in touch.
All right. Bye, Danny. Sweet, you guys. That was a good call. I hope you guys learned a lot. Basically, quick qualification call before we ended up setting him. Ended up saving some time. Great. Seems like a good guy. Might convert later, might not. Who knows? A lot of times with projects like that, these guys are underestimating the difficulty of the problem, and they think that it's just going to be, I just get a guy and he's just going to come in and solve the problem and I'll get there. Those guys, a lot of times, will never close a gap. If he was valuing what we did, he would have had a little bit more of like, oh yeah, okay, I need the advisory or I need the strategy. But it seems like he wasn't really valuing our solution, which is fine. You know, it's not necessarily, he doesn't have to value our solution. And I think he's overvaluing his opportunity or what he actually has. So just as a result, sometimes that doesn't seem like it was necessarily the best match. I think he's a good fit on paper. And as long as he could kind of get attuned to us, maybe see some retargeting ads, he catches our emails, and a month or two from now, that's the type of guy who could pop back up and be ready to go, especially if it's been kind of where he's in the same situation a month, 2, 3 from now. So I hope you guys got a lot out of that. Put in the comments your biggest takeaway. If you guys want help leveling up your sales game as a sales rep or as a business owner, drop a scale in the chat. Wherever you guys are, we'll check the chat, so don't worry about that. That's it for today. Close some deals, change some lives, make some money, and I'm out. Peace, guys.